What's good, YouTube? I'm gonna cut to the chase, man. You know, like if y'all okay, I want to make things very clear. Okay, I made a video about Deion Sanders being or having an opportunity to coach, Jackson State University. You know what I'm saying? Uh, Now, like I said, I'm not questioning that he's going to come in and change this organization. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that he's going to win multiple championships. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying that from an intellectual standpoint, I'm just questioning his thinking knowledge. You know what I'm saying? I'm just questioning how does he go about recruiting these guys that he has zero experience, zero communication with, which obviously that's going to handle itself in due time. But, when you recruit the best of the best, you know what I'm saying? Like when you recruit a lot of great talent from the high school to the collegiate level, it's hard, you know? Like Deion Sanders was never asked to control a roster this big. He went from high school to Pop Warner. You know what I'm saying? Like I follow Deion Sanders. Like I went to school with his son. You know what I'm saying? So how y'all gonna tell me that I don't know? I mean, I know him personally, but obviously he was a cool dude. You know what I'm saying? He lived in Fort Myers, which is in Lehigh. I mean, which is in Florida. Small community, not like Tampa or Orlando or Miami. Just Fort Myers is like a small area. So I know the mindset that it takes for Deion Sanders to be great. Now will that head now will he go from a great player to a great head coach? We've seen that all throughout the league, NBA, NFL, you know what I'm saying? Where you have coaches, you have players that wasn't necessarily great players, but transitioned into great head coaches. Doc Rivers. Some people might say he was a bad player, but he transitioned to a very good head coach. Ty Lue. A lot of people think Ty Lue was not really a bad player, or maybe people might think that he was a bad player, but he obviously, with the help of LeBron James, he got a lot of street cred around the NBA. Now look at him. You know what I'm saying? So, and then Steve Kerr. A lot of people might say Steve Kerr wasn't really a bad player, or he was a bad player, but he smoothly transitioned easily into the NBA. You know what I'm saying? So, as a head coach. So, it doesn't matter what that organization did in the past. The past is the past. They're looking forward to the future, what they can do now. So, I have seen Deion Sanders get in his own way a lot. Like he has zero patience at all. Like in practice, he'd be yelling at his son and saying, God darn it, you better get your, you know what I'm saying? Like he'll be so aggressive, but as a parent, he has to do that. You know what I'm saying? I understand. He has to do that. When he gets on his son about, you could run that route better or you could catch that ball better. It's not that he's embarrassing his son, is that he's trying to be there for his son. You know what I'm saying? Because I was in practice and I saw him in the sideline with that little, hat, you know what I'm saying, with the whistle and stuff. Like, I've seen him, like if I had a phone back in the day, I would have posted me sitting on the bench and on the bleachers, I should say, and him, with the clipboard and everything, because, obviously that was his duties. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm not saying that Deion Sanders is going to make a smooth transition into the college lifestyle, because like collegiate, like high school and Pop Warner, they're totally different. Pop Warner, you're dealing with kids that's 5 years old. High school kids are more like 17, 18, 19 years old. You know what I'm saying? When you go to the collegiate level, it's different. Okay? It's vastly different, you know? So the games are longer, okay? They're not used like high school games are more shorter than college games. You know, I'm not saying that it's easy for Deion Sanders to, to set them apart, but it's going to be a transition because he's never been in that time frame. He's never been in that, he's never been in the collegiate level. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't gotta get my facts straight for what? For what? It's football. It's either you are terrible as a head coach, it's either you're good as a player or you terrible as a head coach. They even got Shaq. They even got Big Diesel to try out for a head coaching job. He couldn't even do it. He couldn't do it because it takes time. It takes a lot of time. And, like I said, Deion Sanders is one of those guys, one of those old school guys who don't have patience. He really don't have patience. I'm just questioning his recruiting, Like usually you'll have like three players that's, all-star. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not saying that Jackson State University didn't produce a lot of great talent. They did. They did. But that was in the past. This is the present. Y'all saying things that happened 10 years ago. Like I get it. They may not be big schools like Alabama, Florida, LSU, but they are in the come up. You know what I'm saying? Like scouts do go in different paces. They don't necessarily go to the same school each and every year to scout new players. You know what I'm saying? They might go to Jackson, Mississippi, or they might go to Mississippi State or, Boise State or Jackson State University. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying that school don't produce. And there were stretches where that school was just totally trashed. They hired the wrong coaches. You know what I'm saying? They hired the wrong GMs. So what makes you think Deion Sanders is any better? Like what makes you think Deion Sanders is any better? Like I said, the only thing I question is his recruiting. I'm not saying that he's going to be a bad head coach. I'm not saying that he's going to be a good head coach. We don't know. But when this team faces adversity, how will he respond? Now, obviously, he's not going to get fired his first year, obviously. Just give it about like a good 4 years to see where he's at. And if the team don't respond, fire him and find a new head coach. Find a head coach that's been coaching for 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years. You know what I'm saying? But you're asking a guy who's been arguably, in your eyes, the best cornerback that y'all have ever seen. He has never, I'm not saying that he hasn't, I'm not saying that Deion Sanders never produced in NFL, because obviously he did, but he's never found a home. Like he's never settled down. And that's the one thing that bugged me about him. Like he was so good, he was so gifted as a player that he didn't go to the Atlanta Falcons and settle down and win them a championship. He didn't go to the Redskins and settle down and win them a championship. He didn't go to the Washington Redskins and settle down and wished and brung them a championship. Now, I know it's a team sport. He can't do it by himself. But when he went to the 49ers, he had a good supporting cast. And when he went to the Cowboys, he had a good supporting cast. But when he went to the Falcons, the Ravens, the Redskins, they're all abomination franchises. So when he missed the playoffs those years that he was there, was that his fault? Was that his fault? No, it wasn't. It wasn't his fault. It was the organization's fault. It was the Ravens' fault. It was the Redskins' fault at the time. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying that just because you're a great player, that doesn't translate into a great head coach. And I may be wrong, but I guarantee you I'm not wrong because his philosophy of thinking is different from the norm. You know, like if you would have gotten a white head coach in there, I'm pretty sure he would have done things totally different. You know, but I'm guessing Deion Sanders wants to bring swag back. He wants to bring that energy back that has been lacking over there, which is fine. You know what I'm saying? I hope he rejuvenates that whole franchise. You know what I'm saying? Because they've been god awful ever since, they had a good head coach. You know what I'm saying? So, but sometimes I think that he's going about it the wrong way. Now, like I said, I may be wrong. Y'all might bash me. I don't give a fuck. Okay? Like, maybe I did take some time off of football, you know what I'm saying? But, what I know is what I know, you know what I'm saying? And I know that, yes, that organization have created a lot of great talent, you know? They produce a lot of great players into the National Football League, you know what I'm saying? Like, my favorite running back was Walter Payton, and he went to that school. So, I know I know what it takes, because I was a former, player myself, if I hadn't, if my knee didn't, gave out on me like it did, I would have probably made it. You know what I'm saying? I played basketball, I ran track, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm very athletic for my size. I'm 6'2". Right now, I'm probably like 215. You know what I'm saying? So I was 230, but, I shed a little pounds. But, I'm very athletic. I'm probably more athletic than y'all, you know? But that's not the point. The point is, I know what it takes. I played both sides of the field. I played offense and defense. At first, I was a wide receiver. The coach told me that, Walter, you have good hands, but you have slow speed. Your speed is not that fast. And as a wide receiver, that's the one thing coaches and scouts look at, your speed. They don't look at if you can catch the ball. We all know you can catch the ball. It's one thing, your foot movement and your speed. I didn't have that. They put me in the defensive unit. First they put me at linebacker. That didn't work. They put me at defensive end. And actually they put me at nose tackle. That didn't work. They put me at defensive tackle. That didn't work. Until they put me at defensive end, that's where I shined the most. Like I had 8.5 sacks. So, and this is way before I had a phone. I had a phone until I turned 20. And that's when I graduated. Actually, I graduated when I was 19, but I turned 20, that year. But, like, I'm pretty sure if I had a phone that year, I would have uploaded a whole bunch of videos of my videos doing backflips, not backflips, but cartwheels and stuff like that, you know? Like, I was very athletic, Like, my mom wasn't athletic. My dad wasn't athletic. None of my brothers and sisters was that, well, my brother was athletic, but, he didn't necessarily play sports. But, I was the only one that was athletic in my family. So, I don't know where it came from, but, by the grace of God, I was able to, at least play the sport that I love, which was basketball at the beginning, But, I had to settle for football first, you know what I'm saying? Because the tryouts, the season already began, so, I had no choice. So, um, and that's where I broke my leg. That's where I broke my leg in basketball. So, hopefully, I mean, I'll do a story on that, but yeah, man. Look, I'm not here to question Deion Sanders. I really am not. I'm just here to question you know, all I'm questioning is his thought process. Because if he brings all these guys that's number one recruits in, and they don't actually put W's on the table. Where did he go wrong? Did he over recruit? Because there's no such thing as over recruiting, right? You bring the best guys you think that will win you football games. Just like how you draft, just like how teams have 7 picks, some have 12, some have 15. You pick the best guys available, and that's been Tom Coughlin's plan or strategy since day one. Draft the best player available. You know what I'm saying? And, we drafted players from different schools, JPP went to damn, what's that school? University of South Florida. You know what I'm saying? Justin Tuck, he came out of Notre Dame. You know what I'm saying? I can't even pronounce his name, but I'll just call him OC. OC, he went to Troy. Small schools, big schools. Randy Moss, he came from Marshall. Hamar Bradshaw, he came from Marshall. So don't sit there and say, I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe I did lose touch in football because obviously I haven't watched football, in a long time. Like I watched college football when it was at its best, Sam Bradford in Oklahoma, Tim Tebow in Florida, Greg McElroy in Alabama. So don't tell me I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe I did lose touch in football, but I still know what I'm talking about and I still know my sports. But if y'all want to come at me sideways, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all know better. Did y'all play any sports? Hell no. Like I bet you one of y'all can't tell me a position y'all played in high school. I actually went to college, okay, on a scholarship. I went to a Division II school. No, it wasn't these big time schools that y'all know, but I went to a small community college school. You know what I'm saying? I spent there for like three years. You know what I'm saying? I majored in, what I majored in. I majored in, well, I didn't necessarily major in anything. I just went there to play sports. You know what I'm saying? They told me like I could take courses and classes and stuff like that that I wanted that fit me. But I just went to, a community college. And after that, since I knew that I couldn't play football anymore, I took it upon myself to learn something, to learn a trade. You know what I'm saying? Because I knew that my hopes and dreams of being a basketball player was over. So I decided to, pursue a plumbing career. You know what I'm saying? And plumbers make pretty good job. I'm still playing. I mean, not playing, but I'm still, I'm still working on that, goal. You know what I'm saying? So everybody has hopes and dreams, okay? Deion Sanders was fortunate to make it to the NFL. Florida State did a very good job of molding him into a great player. And obviously Atlanta was very fortunate to land Deion Sanders. You know what I'm saying? So, like I say, it's not where you're drafted, it's how you represent yourself. You know what I'm saying? But, people want to, bash me. Maybe that video was out of date. Maybe I did say some things that, wasn't false or was false and wasn't true. You know what I'm saying? Because I was probably drunk that day. I'm not going to lie. I had a few beers. I'm not going to lie. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I just came on camera and said whatever. I apologize. But, if y'all want to quickly bash me and do this and say, oh, I don't know what I'm talking about and this and that, it's fine. But name me a NFL player that transitioned from a great player to a great head coach. I'll wait. Because we've seen these quarterbacks, Brian Leftwich, Kellen Moore, who else? Those are the only two names I can think of. They're being viewed as great offensive coordinators. Now, they may not have been great quarterbacks coming out of their schools, but they transitioned, They said that, okay, I cannot affect a game by a quarterback standpoint, but I can affect a game by calling plays, And now Kellen Moore got a position job at Boise State. And he wasn't not even a bad. I mean, he was a bad quarterback, but he thought about, okay, they're gonna label me a bust because I can't play, but they can't question my call playing. I mean my play calling, and he's calling plays for Andy Dalton in in the Cowboys. Okay, Brian Leftwich, same thing. Not Phil Sims. Wade Phillips, the head coach of the Cowboys, awful head coach, but he knows how to run. He knows how to play calls for defenses. You know, like the great Eric. I think his name was Eric. I forgot his name. He was the defensive coordinator for the Giants in '07. Like, he transitioned it from a defensive coordinator to a head coach. That didn't work. Chip Kelly, he went from Oregon to the Philadelphia Eagles. He tried his, new high-tempo offense. The NFL players was gassed. They was breathing through oxygen tanks because their style of speed did not resonate towards the NFL. And he tried to take it to San Francisco, and then now look at him. He's out of a job. So just because it worked in college doesn't mean that it's going to translate into the NFL. You know what I'm saying? Or how about when the Eagles obviously made the little dream team that they had? Remember the dream team when where they picked top five players? No, not even top five, but the best players from each team. They had the best cornerback, the best O line. I mean D line. They had the best linebacker. They had this, they had that. They started the season off 5-0. Everybody was talking about them, the talk of the town. They lost 12 straight and they finished the season 5-12. If you don't believe me, Google it. So, like, that type of mindset is probably going to cost Deion Sanders his job. Because if he thinks like that, then it's over. It's over. It's over. Because they're about winning. They're not waiting for 3 years to regroup. They want to win now. They're in win now mode. So if they don't get the production that they need, he's not even going to last 1 year with them. He might probably last 2 years and see where they go from there. But if you see where I'm getting at. So don't attack me, okay? I'm entitled to your opinion. I'm entitled to my opinion, just like how everybody's entitled to their opinion, Like, y'all see Deion Sanders y'all may see the Deion Sanders that can't do wrong, Like, trust me, I have been in school with his son. His son is tall as hell, okay? Like, that dude is a freakishly athlete, he would come to school with the flyest clothes on every single day. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was that dude, But Deion Sanders have zero patience, Zero patience. Just saying, And then, I wasn't the best. I wasn't the biggest Deion Sanders fan, but I respect his game. Most people may not think that he's the best cornerback. He may have been the best cornerback of his era. He may have been the Michael Jordan of his era, but a lot of people may not give him credit. He didn't have the most breakups. He didn't have the most tackles for loss. He wasn't utilized the way he was utilized in Florida State. Okay, Florida State, they utilized him until his full potential. When he went to the NFL, it was different. The game was faster. It was, what I'm saying? In college, it's just slow. It's fast, but it's like slow pace. The pace is like very slow. But the energy, the whole 9 yards, it's like, up in pace, like fast pace. You know what I'm saying? So when he went to the Atlanta Falcons, they didn't utilize him the way that he should be utilized. They used him more as a punt returner, and they used him they used him as a box cornerback or a box. They put him in a box. You know what I'm saying? Because he said that he could do it all. There's not one. There's not one area that he's good at. They moved him around. You know what I'm saying? But everywhere he went didn't necessarily equal success. Yeah, he had success in 49ers because the 49ers was already established. Yes, he had success in Dallas because Dallas was already established. But when he went to those other teams, the Ravens, the Redskins, like everything just went out the window. So that's all I have to say, man. I mean, if you agree with me, you can agree with me. But like I said, just because you're a great player doesn't mean it's going to translate into a great head coach. And yes, he did coach the high school level and he did coach the Pop Warner level. But college is a different breed, Like, it's just a different breed. So, like, comment, subscribe. If you agree with me, let me know in the comment section down below. Like I said, I'm not here to bash or disrespect Deion Sanders. I'm just saying, I just think that his recruiting is questionable. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that he's going to do bad. I'm just questioning his level of thinking. Because he's old school. He's not these new cats out here that's doing the new wave or doing things, the new way. Like he's old school. Like he thinks differently than others. His mindset is different. Which I'm the same way. I'm old school too, but sometimes you have to adjust to what you're doing around your environment. Around your environment, you have to adjust, because if you don't adjust, you're gonna die. Okay, so that's all I have to say. I'm not saying that he's gonna be terrible. I'm not saying that he's gonna stink it up, but sometimes sometimes old school people can be stubborn sometimes, like they think in the past way too much. They want things done the way they should have been done instead of just, going to the new direction, which is the new wave. But we'll see. We'll see. I do follow that school. You know what I'm saying? But, I haven't followed it like I should have because I took some time out for football. You know what I'm saying? But like they drafted 3 Hall of Famers. 3 of those picks that came from that school, they all were Hall of Famers. I think the offensive lineman went to the Rams. The other one, obviously Walter Payton went there. Obviously he's a Hall of Famer, rest in peace. You know what I'm saying? Like he was my favorite running backs. I saw that Barry Sanders. Walter Payton was the running back. Like you guys, Saquon Barkley wanting to be, Barry Sanders, which is not a bad thing. But again, Barry Sanders didn't like contact. Like I literally saw him run for like 230 or 270 I think it was against the Ravens. Like every time he would bounce it outside, like he does not like physicality at all. And when you see Saquon Barkley, I'm sorry if I'm getting off track, but I'm just saying hypothetically, like if you see Deion Sanders play, he took bits and pieces of players that came before him and after him, you know? So it is what it is. Like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, take care of yourself and each other.